Good
Starting
morning.
the UPWP committee here. Let me get my screens in order so I can read these different statements here. All right, so I'd like to call the Boston Region NPO's UPWP committee meeting to order for August 19th. I'll get started by reading the virtual meeting guidelines here. So all participants will be joining the meeting with muted microphones. Please rename yourself to include your first name, last name, and your affiliation if you have one. All participants can mute and unmute themselves. But in order to participate in the discussion, please use the raise hand function. It's either under the participants button at the bottom of the screen, and a window will pop up with the raise hand button at the bottom, or there's a reactions button at the bottom. And then I'll call on people in order. If you're on the phone, you can use *9 to raise your hand to indicate you wish to speak. And if you have any technical difficulties, you can contact Kate White via the chat box at kwhite@ctps.org or on the phone at 857-702-3658. And this meeting is being recorded. This meeting is accessible to people with disabilities. Zoom products are compliant with exceptions with the following standards: the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines 2.1 Level AA standards and revised Section 508 standards. If you require any additional accommodations in order to participate in this meeting, you can contact Kate White at kwhite@ctps.org or via phone at 857-702-3658. All right, so get started here with introduction. So I'm Ben Muller, the sort of former chair of the UPWP committee meeting, and I'll introduce Derek Schuster, who will be taking over chair responsibilities for the remainder of this meeting and going forward. Derek.
Thank you, Ben. Good morning, everyone. As Ben said, my name is Derek Schuster. We have two Dereks on the MPO activities team at mass.otp, so you can call me Schuster to differentiate us moving forward. I'm going to begin with a roll call. Who do we have from MAPC?
Good morning. This is Eric Barassa with MAPC.
Good morning, Eric. From Town of Arlington?
This is Daniel Amstutz from the Town of Arlington.
Good morning, Daniel. From Boston BPDA? Okay, do we have anyone from Boston BTD?
Bill Conroy, Boston Transportation Department, representing Mayor Kim Janey.
Morning, Bill. Do we have anyone from Metro West, Framingham?
Erica Oliver Jerem, City of Framingham, representing Mayor Spicer.
Hi, Erica.
Hi.
Who do we have from Medway Swap? Hearing none, do we have anyone from Newton?
Hi everyone, Nicole Friedman, City of Newton, filling in for David Kosas. Thank you.
Good morning, Nicole. And who do we have from Norwood, TRIC and VRC?
Good morning, Tom O'Rourke from the Town of Norwood, representing the Trick subregion.
Good morning, Tom. From Westwood? Oh, sorry, that was Trick. Yeah. Sorry, I have an alternate list here.
It's the alternate.
Oh, hi, Steve. Perfect. Somerville, Intercore.
Tom Bent, representing Mayor Joe Curtatone, City of Somerville.
Hi, Tom. And RTAC?
Leonard Diggins here from RTAC, Mr. Schuster.
Thank you, Leonard. Do we have any other MPO members present? Hearing none, who do we have from MPO staff on the call?
We typically do not do a list of who from MPO staff is present, but we can if you want.
Fine by me. I see the list on the participants list, so I'll refer to that. Thank you, Sandy. Okay, the first item on the agenda is public comment. Do we have anyone from the public wishing to make comments at this time? Hearing and seeing none, we're going to move on to the next item of the agenda, action items, summary of August 5th, 2021 meeting. Sandy.
Yeah, so meeting summary of the past meeting, and I would just throw it back to the chair to ask for a motion and a second to approve that summary.
Okay, one moment. I just saw a note in the comments. Is anyone from MBTA Advisory Board here?
Yes, Amira Patterson here, Transportation Planner representing Brian Kane and the MBTA Advisory Board. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Amira. All right, thank you. All right, I see two hands raised. Eric?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the August 5th meeting.
Thank you, Eric. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
This is Daniel Amstutz. I'll second that.
Thank you, Daniel. I saw your hand was raised as well. Would you like to make a comment?
No, I was just making the motion or second.
Okay, excellent. Are there any comments on this item? Okay, we're going to take a vote on the motion. MassDOT votes aye. Eric Barassa,
Yes.
Daniel Amstutz,
Yes.
Bill Conroy,
Yes.
Erica Jerem,
Yes.
Nicole Friedman,
Yep.
Tom O'Rourke,
Yes.
Steve Olenoff,
So Tom and Steve would not both vote.
got it. Okay,
I don't vote. I'm the alternate.
noted. Tom Bent,
Yes.
Leonard Diggins,
Yes.
and does MBTA Advisory get a vote on this committee?
They are not formally members of the committee, but I'm sure they've been attending, so I'm sure we can have discussions about formally adding them.
Okay, good to know for the future. Thank you. Okay, the motion passes. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is action item federal fiscal year 2022 UPWP. Sandy, I believe this is you.
Yes, it is. Thank you. Yeah, so we are here today with the final draft of the federal fiscal year 2022 UPWP. You saw the kind of review draft on July 15th, and then voted to recommend to the MPO that they release it for a public comment period. The 30-day public comment period ran through last Friday, August 13th, and we received 5 comments on the draft document, which you can find in Appendix B of the document, which is now separately posted to the meeting calendar as well as part of the PDF of the entire document. And I'll just give a brief overview of each of the 5 comments, and then I am happy to take any questions or comments on the comments as well as on the full document, and then I would be asking you to vote again to approve it and recommend that the MPO endorse it at their meeting at 10 a.m. So the comments were, the first one was from MassDOT, which had a variety of kind of comments on this and on future UPWPs. We got one from the 495 Metro West Coalition, which supported several of the studies included in the document and identified some of their kind of sub-regional and advocacy priorities for future UPWPs. We got one from the Institute for Transportation and Development Policy, or ITDP, and their staffer Julia Wallers, who was supporting 2 studies in particular and making some helpful suggestions for helping to flesh out the scoping for those studies. We got one from John McQueen, who's a member of Walk Boston and the Regional Transportation Advisory Council. He suggested the restoration of the study on congestion pricing that was initially included in the draft list of staff recommended list of studies, but was deleted because of budget constraints. And then we got one from Susan Barrett, who's the transportation manager for the town of Lexington, who wanted to know a little bit about the relationship between the various task items in the UPWP and the MPO's goals and objectives that are outlined in the LRTP and also included in Chapter 1 of the UPWP document. I have written back to each of these commenters. Typically our practice has been for me as the manager to write back to them and provide the formal response from MPO staff. Of course, if the committee wants to respond in some other way, you are welcome to as well, and I'm happy to facilitate that. But at this point, I am happy to take any questions you all might have. There are no other updates to the document, some minor typos, fixes, and very small content changes, but it's identical to the review draft that was presented on July 15th. So if I'm happy to take questions, and if there are none, then I would just ask that you vote to recommend this to the MPO for endorsement.
Thank you, Sandy. Did anyone have any questions for Sandy? Hearing none, can we have a motion to forward to the MPO for endorsement? Eric?
I'll make a motion to forward this to the MPO for endorsement.
Thank you, Eric. Leonard?
And I'll second that. And I did want to make a comment. I was a little late on getting my hand up.
Okay.
And so the RTAC wasn't able to have its meeting, so we weren't able to approve our letter. So we will do that at our next meeting. I will, if Sandy can attend, it'd be great if he could. Generally, he does. So I don't think it's unexpected. And I also wanted to say that the appendix is wonderful, and the amount of information there is really, really good. And I very much appreciate that you continue to include the universe from which the studies were selected, because I think it's a great way of being transparent about the process. So thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Leonard. I'd be happy to talk about when I'm able to attend the next meeting.
Great, thanks.
All right, do we have any other comments? Yes, Dan.
Sure. Since Len had commented on the appendix, I think I was just sort of scrolling through it, and one of the tables that I don't remember seeing before, or maybe I didn't notice it in the past, was the one about of all of the UPWP tasks year by year and which category they're in and so on, and demographic information. I think that's really interesting and rather really detailed, and I love that detail. I think that was like Len was saying, it's like lots of information here that that I just hadn't expected, frankly. So I think that's really interesting to see, and looking forward as well. Yeah, so I think that's all. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Dan. Are there any other comments at this time? All right, we'll continue with the vote. MassDOT votes aye. Eric?
Eric Barassa, MAPC, yes.
Thank you, Eric. Daniel Amstutz?
Yes, Town of Arlington votes yes.
Bill Conroy?
Bill Conroy, City of Boston, yes.
Erica Jerome?
Erica Jerem, City of Framingham. It's okay. City of Framingham votes yes, and I agree. This is a really great plan and very thoroughly explained and helpful. Thanks.
Nikki Friedman?
Yes, thank you. No one calls me Nikki, by the way.
Nicole, I'm sorry. Nicole, thank you.
It's okay. I'll explain why later.
Tom O'Rourke?
Tom O'Rourke, yes.
Thomas Bent?
Tom Bent, yes.
And Leonard Diggins?
Leonard Diggins, yes. You can call me Lenny anytime.
Okay, thank you, Lenny. All right, the motion passes. The next item on the agenda is members' items. If any of the members have reports and notices, including regional concerns and local community issues, now's your time. All right, here. Oh, yes, Tom.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't find the hand raise thing. But I just wanted to recognize Sandy and his team for doing a great job as well on the UPWP this year. I do feel like each year it becomes a little more clear and a little more easy of a process to go through, thanks to the adjustments that they make on a regular basis. So just wanted to recognize them for that.
Thank you, Tom. Yeah, if I can take a moment of a staff item, part of my team has been Kate White, who is this is her next to last day at CTPS, and she's been helping me run these meetings and do public outreach and engagement for the UPWP, and she's been just a fantastic support and help. And so thank you, Kate, and we'll miss you. But you're not going very far. She's going to work for Somerville. So.
That's very kind, Sandy, and it's just been a really, really great experience to do this work with you. So all of you who get the chance to work with Sandy, it's the same when you get to be a staff member. He's just as much of a great team player and forward thinker.
With that in mind, I know at the start of the agenda, Kate's contact info was shared on who to contact for accessibility concerns. Is there a new contact identified, or is that being forwarded to staff?
Yeah, I'll be updating that material for the next meeting. It's probably going to be Roisin Foley.
Okay. Sounds good. Are there any other items? Yes, Lenny.
Would you please remind me where Mr. Muller's going?
Ben, would you like to take that, or is he off the call now?
Sure.
There he is.
Yeah, I'll be joining the District 6 team. I'll be planning for a few smaller, a bit of a smaller geography, but
well,
still with the Boston region.
Well, we'll miss you too, so, but I'm sure you'll manage to come back to visit sometime.
I'll be listening in.
Yeah, you've been great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Any other members' items? All right, hearing none, I believe our next meeting is on September 2nd. Are there plans for the next meeting that you have to share, Sandy?
Yeah, the main thing at the next meeting will be approving Amendment 1 to the Federal Fiscal Year 2021 UPWP, the current UPWP, which will allow us to reallocate some money to finish out the year strong in the last month of the fiscal year and make some minor content adjustment for MAPC work. And the details are available. You know, I think they were discussed at the last MPO meeting, and I can make them available to anybody who has questions if you haven't seen that yet.
All right, thanks, Sandy. It's time to adjourn. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Yes, Dan.
Oh, I'll make that motion. I was just double checking also that the meeting will be at 9 a.m. like usual. I don't see it on the calendar yet.
Yeah, that is the plan, and we'll get it on the calendar.
Thanks.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I believe Dan may have, so we'll have Eric as second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sounds good to me.
Aye.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy.